Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and the new Nigeria is certainly possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on your time zone. Today, we've come again to have a discussion on the things that are happening in Nigeria, especially the breaking news of the day that Chief Bola Tinubu has approved 70,000 Naira starvation wage for Nigerian workers. 70,000 starvation wage. It's not the minimum wage though, starvation wage. And of course, we are going to bring you that at this very hour that the youths in Nigeria are really, railing to go from the 1st to the 10th of August for this nationwide end bad governance strike. Of course, is coming on the heels of this same 70,000 Naira approval, which is being rejected by the Nigerian youths. Now, again, we are going to bring you the leaked memo that is coming out today that is, exposed by Pidon Nigeria, which suggests that even the Airforce are gearing up, sending all signal and alerts for all their personnel not to go on leave, not to be allowed on leave, nor even a pass out to their families due to the nationwide protests that will be coming up at this very hour. And of course, we'll bring you about some of the people who have been in government who openly on national TV admits to election fraud and nothing is done, admitting clearly that they wrote results in their office and they are working free in Nigeria. And of course, we are going to bring you the news about how Chief Whip was whipped from the Senate of the National Assembly. All these to discuss with me in the studio. I have, of course, Mercy right here, and our new bird, Okike, plus our new Nigerian people who are in Zoom, our people who are obediently waiting to join us to have this very conversation.
Good evening, well-meaning Nigerians. Thank you for joining us on this live broadcast.
Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Wherever you are joining us from at this hour, please like and share. You know, go cut your hand to like and share so that other obedience go know say na 70,000 Naira Chief Bola Tinubu they bring out. We even know if it's pay their transport fare to work, how they no go they corrupt. But we will be starting all this from the studio now. Let's start with what Okike has, because she has been fuming. She was not around yesterday, and of course today being brazenly, coming shining in the office and saying 70,000 Naira will not even do for the transport that they are talking about, not talk less of the food to be ate before work can be done. Let's have your thoughts, please.
70,000 for starvation is even low. With 70,000 Naira, you still starve in this economy.
Okay, for the starvation, 70 is even low, not for the minimum wage.
Low.
But for starvation wage, it's even not even doable.
It's very low. Even with 70,000 Naira, you will starve in this economy. The economy is bad already. And if you go down to the bedrock of it, you know that, it's fuel increase that is causing this. So it's better to correct it from the grassroots. Okay,
another question I want to go direct because we don't have much time is, do you think that this very 70 Naira has given more reasons why Nigerians need to hit the street?
Yes, of course. Obviously, we have to come out in our numbers to say that 70,000 Naira is just
to reject
joke.
The 70,000 Naira.
It's Bola Tinubu's way of like joking, laughing at us to our face, because what can 70,000 Naira do for anybody in this economy?
I saw their picture that they took with the NLC and Tinubu took at the villa, and what I'm seeing there is the only person who was smiling in the picture is Chief Bola Tinubu. I mean, you guys can look at it from the screen and tell me if maybe my eyesight is not. The only person who is smiling here is Bola Tinubu. Even the other persons who might be the ministers or the people who are arranging all this, they are not smiling because they know their nephews, their relatives, they are all involved in one way or the other, and that's why they are not smiling. But let me quickly jump to Mercy here. Mercy, my question direct is, do you really think that Chief Bola Tinubu meant well for Nigerian workers for 70,000 naira?
Of course, he does not mean well.
Okay, before you go deep into that, do you think that they cannot pay more than 70,000 naira?
Of course, Nigeria can pay more than 70,000 naira.
Oh, okay, now tell us what you'll say before we go on Zoom.
Okay, let's come to House of Reps. The allowances that is being given to them, that is actually in millions. So why can't Nigeria pay their workers? And what is 70,000 naira? Even as a single person, do you know how much your food, your transport expenses, your light bills, even now that the tariff has been increased, is 70,000 naira worth spending in a month? Is actually very poor, and that is more reason why Nigerian youth and every other person in Nigeria has to mount the streets and come out in their numbers so that we say no to this with a peaceful protest. Okay,
in a recent development, Chief Bola Tinubu has proposed a significant increase of 3 trillion to the current expenditure of the 2024 budget. This proposal comes as a result of ongoing negotiations over the national minimum wage. In a letter sent to both chambers of the National Assembly yesterday, Chief Tinubu is seeking a fresh 6.2 trillion supplementary budget. Out of this 3.2 trillion is proposed for capital expenditure and 3 trillion for recurrent expenditure. The recurrent component of the budget intended for the payment of the salaries and overheads. With me to have this discussion further on Zoom are the Obidient stakeholders. Let's start with Lord Kingsley Hosa, who is joining us on Zoom. Lord Kingsley, please quickly tell us your take on this 6.2 supplementary that has gone to the House, and of course the intention is maybe to go on this as a recurrent expenditure, which is very, very high. We have not gotten to this stage before since I don't know, should I say since 1999. But what are your thoughts on this very 70,000 naira, and what do you think is the effect? But clearly, do you think that Nigerians, the end bad governance protest, do you think they should add this minimum wage to part of their demand?
Good evening, fellow Obedients around the world, everyone in the studio and on Zoom. Thank you very much again. And I don't know. I think what is actually happening here now, I believe the government of the day, they are actually trying to do something that's will cause Nigerians, will cause the youths to come out on the streets in anger. Because I don't see any reason why these negotiations from 60 to 62 and now to 70. Now you are saying this is a starvation wage you can afford. In a country where you are spending, I mean, without reason. You are spending as if there is no tomorrow. You are telling everybody to tighten up their belts, but you are losing yours and even loading more. The thing here now is, do we actually have a labor union that is negotiating this for the citizens? Do we have a trade union that's actually negotiating this, or they have been compromised? Is it the fact that these guys, they are just there nowadays just for the fact that, okay, we are in position, whatever happens, let it happen. We have spoken, let them go and do what they want to do. I believe Nigerians, it is now in your hand. It is now in your hand. Nobody can tell me now that 70,000 will be able to sustain him or her and their family for 1 month. Nobody can tell me that. Because you've got school fees to pay, you've got house rent to pay, you've got electric bill to pay, you've got your tenants, your rents to pay. You have to feed yourself. You have to transport yourself to work. So are you telling me now that 70,000 will take all this for you? Gentlemen and ladies, I'm not telling you to go out on the street, to go and destroy things, to go and fight each other also. No, go and tell the government that, sorry, your offer is not good enough. Your offer is not what we are looking for. This is a government that was so bold to say he has sent out 20 trucks to each state, 20 trucks of 25 kg bag of rice. Oh my goodness. And he said he has sent it to that people should take that as palliatives. And thereafter, this is the same government that has, even yesterday, come out now that they want another 6.2 trillion. 6.2 trillion, of which 3.2 is for capital expenses, and then 3 million is for your current expenses. So you tell me, which budget are they actually operating on? So which means the one they passed before is for their private pockets. The supplementary that came as well was for their private pockets. So, man, guys, now is the time. Now is the time. Akpabio himself came out the other day saying, oh, well, they are distributing fertilizers. Fertilizers they've distributed, where are they today? They've all gone into hiding again, into their warehouses, where they are selling them. Where they are selling them. A bag of fertilizer now is about 55,000 from one source I know. 55,000 for a bag of fertilizer that you should not be even paying for, or at most maybe you pay 5,000 or 10,000. But these guys, they have gone to hide these things now, and they are selling it to local governments. So where is the truth coming out from in this country? What are we dealing with in this country? The Lagos State government yesterday or so, was giving out 100,000 to youth corps that just graduated. 100,000 to bribe them. 100,000 that they will spend on transport, and then maybe buy food for 1 week. It's all gone. And he's saying he's doing something. He's bold to come out on TV to say, oh, he's offering them a start point. The start points are for what? Nigerians, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. If you cannot stand for your right, like what the Kenyans have actually done, you'll be there. They will turn the country into a one-party country, and you will be suppressed for life. You will be suppressed. Your children will be suppressed. Your grandchildren will be suppressed. If you don't fight for this right now, all your generations will all be suppressed because of one wrong individual that is heading the country, that doesn't care about you. They don't care. Look at him smiling with the Labour and the TLC leaders there. He's the only one smiling because he's fooling you. He's mimicking you guys that, oh, what can you do? What can you do? Is it by setting out the Airforce, setting out the police, setting out the army? That how many with the army, Air Force, and police? How many can they arrest? How many can they kill?
That's okay. Let me
like what I heard this other man say the other day. That if one person dies in this protest coming up, the country will go on fire. And I stand with that. I stand with it. The country will go on fire. Okay. Because if Tinubu himself, if Tinubu himself was killed when he went to protest, when good luck was there, I don't think he will be alive today.
Yeah, Thank you very much. There is this Charlie Boy's tweet that says, let's wear our demands on our sleeves. Print this quote on your white shirts. Police do not attack protesters. Your children are involved. Your lives are involved. Your children's future lies here. Let's remind Chief Bola Tinubu of his own words and demand justice, equality, and a better future for all Nigerians. He said, wear your shirts with the pride and let's make our voices heard. That is this thing. Then we have the one coming out from Delefaro Timi, who now saw that very post of area father and said, now where I see at Area Father 1 tweet about this, that is tweeting about the protest. He said, I shall begin to pay attention. Of course, people should start paying attention about this, and not just attention, but response to support the protest because of what Nigerians are doing. Let me give you 1 minute to summarize on this, Lord K.
Thank you very much. I mean, the area father, Charlie Boy, has been somebody that has stood for integrity, somebody that has stood for everything good for the country. But then, what about our boys? Are they coming out to support him? They left out to me as well. I mean, we've got people that will actually stand, pull their chest out. But where are the boys? Where are our boys? Arise. Time to arise. 29th, 1st to the 10th of August is the time. Let's change Nigeria. Let's make Nigeria a great country.
Thank you very much.
If it results to changing leadership, let it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let's get quickly to Mr. Bassi. Mr. Bassi, I want us to get straight to the point of this very call for the protest. It's very, very important for us to understand that people should start stocking food in their house, because from the way it is going right now, that the markets might not be open for people to even buy things. From the way it is being sent out as memo, restricted memo that is coming out from the Nigerian Airforce, is now training officers, deploying officers to use crowd dispensing techniques, knowing fully well that what we are talking about is a protest that is void of any kind of riot, because when you say crowd dispensing technique, it means you want to cause chaos or you want to hurt the people. Now, my question to you, Mr. Bassi, is these officers that they are telling that they must employ such techniques against protesters, they know it's coming. They can't stop it. Now, what they are doing is sending out restricted memo across all formations. But that we have seen that one of the police, we have seen that one of the Nigerian Air Force. Are we not also supposed to be preparing and getting people who should make some contributions to organizers in local areas so that they can be able to get people at least water to drink while they are carrying placards? And of course, they are going to make placards that they are going to be carrying up and banners and all of that. Don't you think that that should be happening now, so that we make sure that we come out and express to Chief Bola Tinubu that Nigerians are hungry? Because from what he has said today about approval of 70,000 naira, it's clear that he does not understand that there is serious hunger in the land. Mr. Bassi.
Thank you, Mr. Kanu. Good evening, all the studio panelists and all the Zoom panelists. Good day, Obidient worldwide, and all the listeners. Very sad that we have come to this point. This was avoidable, but because we have insensitive government who don't care about the people, who don't have empathy about the people, who lacks empathy, and who don't have human emotion. But that has brought us to where we are. Talking about people stocking their food in the house. People that don't even have money, where do they stock food from? How are they going to stock the food? From where is the money going to come from? Nigerians are impoverished. Nigerians are suffering. Not because they have money, they cannot buy food. Because they don't have money to buy the food. That is the problem. So it's high time we get to understand that Nigerians don't have the purchasing power. So when you are asking people to stock their food in their homes. How is that going to happen? How will that happen? From which source are they going to raise the money to stock their homes with food? So this is that call for me. It makes no sense, because Nigerians are impoverished. They don't have food. They don't have money to purchase food. And talking about Nigerian Airforce, I hope they are aware, the people who have been sent to do this job, I hope they are aware that they are also Nigerians. Their families, their relatives are also involved. They are all suffering. So I would say that the people in the security forces should rather encourage and support Nigerians to bring forth a better Nigeria for everybody, where we have people who are selected, who are enjoying the good, the commonwealth of this nation. It doesn't go down well. I was listening to the news today. It said the House of Rep have cut down their salaries. I laugh. This is laughable. How can these people think Nigerians are fools? Nigerians are not fools. They should cut down their allowances. It even went to a point where the deputy speaker was saying, oh, Nigeria, our salary is 500,000. While the speaker said, no, it's 600,000. You see how they have met Nigerians, how they have looked at Nigerians. They don't even understand how much they are earning, because they can't even lie. They can't even lie about it. So because they have conspired that once we go out there, we tell Nigerians this is what we are earning. But we all know that they don't earn that. That is far from the truth. So if they want to cut down their earnings, it should be the allowances. Let them cut down the allowances by 50% and see if that place will still be attractive for them to be there. So I am calling on Nigerians. We've seen what the president and the government have offered. This is also the failure on the part of the labor leaders. I can tell you, the fact that we have arrived at that point is because the labor leaders have failed the workers. They have failed Nigerians. Because you won't tell me that that is what they could achieve. It's because they have something have gone under. Some envelopes have exchanged hands.
All right.
So this is where we are. They've sold out Nigerians workers and the Nigerian people, and they are comforted. They are Ajero and his co. They are all comfortable. But the truth is, what happened to their families?
To you.
What happened to their families?
This so that you can quickly round up, Mr. Bassi, just a moment. I saw a report that SDP, I think that would be a Social Democratic Party, has joined the quest for this very protest to happen. That is the End Bad Governance protest. Why is it that other parties, I know that several parties in Nigeria were disenfranchised and they understand the hardship and the bad governance that is happening, and especially at this very protest is purely about bad governance. Why is Labour Party not coming out to encourage and support the protest about bad governance, to end bad governance? Why is it that the PDP are not coming out to also support a protest that is a fundamental right? It's not like they are inciting violence, because it's not a violent protest that is about to happen, but a peaceful one about the hunger that obviously everybody knows is true. So why are these political parties not coming out to support this very particular event, just like the SDP openly is doing?
Everything human being need to survive on, we are lacking it in this country called Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate to find ourselves in this one chance administration.
One chance administration. It's not renew hope, sir. It's renew hope.
Nothing like renew hope from my observation. My children are hungry, school fees is biting, house rent, no.
It's a hell. If nobody should preach to you there is hellfire. This is hellfire.
Nigeria is hellfire.
Hellfire. There is no way somebody who went through Nigeria or who came and suffer all this evil will come and still want to suffer again in hellfire.
To see the action in the next 1 week, taking proactive position to end bad governance. You must end it. You must rise to the occasion. That we are tired as citizens of this country watching you, watching the members of your cabinet running down this country. Nigeria is blessed and has more than enough to take care of things. I have traveled by road the past 40 days. Just few days ago, I came by train from Lokoja right to Warri. And I saw the plight and the state of Nigeria. The Minister of Works is failing the call and the responsibility you have given to him. So what we are demanding in the next coming days, we want to see a proactive action. Or else, the 1st of August, 2024, we, the citizens of Nigeria, will take the street and go on a peaceful protest demanding that the end of bad governance is enforced in Nigeria. You must, and I'm not saying you may, I say you must end bad governance in the presidency. How can we, in such a situation where we are, for you and the members of the Senate to approve over 15 billion naira for the house of the vice president when we already have the place where the prime minister of Britain lives is a 3-bedroom house, and that down street number 10 has been there. They have their own mansions. But when you come as a servant to the people, you must serve the people. That's why the prime minister that suddenly lost his place apologized to the British people for bad governance. We are demanding the judiciary, chief judge or chief judge of Nigeria, whatever name you are called, we Nigerians are demanding from you. You must act on the judiciary. All of these conflict and counter court judgments must come to an end. The most corrupt system in Nigeria is the judiciary. We are demanding the end of it. We are demanding the end of molestation by the police on the ways and the highways. This must come to an end. Today we are demanding every governor, you are not our Lord. You are the servant of the people. It is the people that voted you into power. You must serve the people. You must bring an end to the contractors that have received more than 50% mobilization. All of you contractors, we know you. I drove from Jos to Kanu, Kanu to Jigawa. I drove from Jos to Lokoja. And what I saw with my eyes, I am demanding that all of you contractors that have been paid for you to walk our roads, return back to site, or else Nigerians will respond to you. Today, I am asking churches and mosques, it's time to end all evil religious services. We cannot be living in a nation where people are turning our altars and pulpits in the mosques and in the churches as a place of deception. We want to say all churches and mosques where people are turning it to a commercial center, it must come to an end. It must come to an end. Nigeria must be safe. I want to admonish all members of IBTC, all of you, pastors and imams that are members of IBTC, Please, on the 1st of August, if nothing is done, move to every government house and present your protest letter that enough is enough. This time around, we will not retreat until there is a change. Mr. President, we are not asking you to resign, but we are asking you to act. If you don't act, then Nigerians will demand for you to vacate that seat. But now, electoral reform must be enforced. You Apabio, the Senate President, you better behave yourself. Enough is enough. And all of the things you've been doing in the National Assembly, we have been watching it as citizens. But from now, all of you members of the Senate and House of Representatives, you better be the representative of the people. If you don't do that, we will sack you from the National Assembly. I am saying this, that in the coming days, you must rise to occasion and bring about electoral reforms. We, Nigerians, are tired of the manipulation coming from the international community. It's time we solve our problem by ourselves. And I want to say this. That the military must rise up to occasion. You can end this banditry in 2 weeks. We have seen the communication and the statement of Zamfara governor. We've seen other governors. And we realize there are certain men that have vowed that they must not allow peace to reign in Nigeria. You know where the bandits are. You know their location. We are giving you these few days to rise to occasion. And we cannot continue to mobilize money to pay bandits in order to release our people. I recently, a few days ago, I had to raise more than 40 million for the release of a pastor that was arrested and kidnapped by the Boko Haram. But we're saying enough is enough. Enough. You can see my sweat. And I'm saying this, that by the 1st of August, all of you that are in the city of Jos, you are to mobilize yourself to gather at 7 a.m. at the old airport junction for us to take a march to the government house. And all of you across the country, members of IBBN, you must move to the House of Assembly, move to the government house and present your letter of protest. And we are demanding that Africa must get it right. Nigeria is the leader of Africa and we must do things right. God bless Nigeria.
The bad governance thing that is happening. I mean, they will have to get water to drink, you know. So my idea is that people should, in their respective different localities where they expect to or intend to protest, to have some sort of structure or leadership and people who will provide this kind of things to support them as they protest, because it's not like a one-day thing. It's something that starts from 1st up to the 10th. That is 10 days of protest. And of course, people need to actually have water to drink, have something to, you know, eat. So I think the people should start having some sort of structures in their local areas where they intend to protest, so that people who come out on each day must feed. And that means that people in the society who has, you know, who God has blessed should support such. Look at the people who are, you know, planning to go on that and see how they can support them.
Of course, structure is very necessary in this kind of...
Having some sort of leadership.
Yeah,
you know.
it's very important in this kind of protests, especially because you cannot tell how it will go. How
because
it
going for a peaceful protest means people are going to stand in the sun, in the rain, and are going to be carrying placards, you understand, to express their demand and all of that. So there's need for other people who God has blessed to really support them in those areas. So I think they should make themselves known. There's nothing to hide about this. Protesting is a constitutional right. It is when you say you want to do a violent protest or you want to do riot, stuff like that. But once it's a protest that is constitutional right. So people should not be hiding themselves because they are organizing a protest that is now known across Nigeria.
Wetin you talk na true. Say if say you fit waka, carry placards with others, they waka, they do others. And say God don't bless you. Abeg may you just see protest by providing small thing where others go fit chop. Even though send a bag of water, even though send a biscuit, any small thing where say people go fit chop, may they feel they get strength, may they feel they protest with all their mind. Abeg just see join us. See your own part of the protest be that. Thank you.
Yes, and another thing that I also want to encourage is just like this reverend or this pastor spoke now, I think that other pastors in different churches who are against bad governance, you understand me, should also come out. Oyedepo did that in, is it 2013, as the case might be. I mean, they all did that. So they should all, they are the people who has a whole lot of congregation, and by even them coming out as religious leaders, it means it is going to be a peaceful protest, because I know they wouldn't encourage people to come out to protest violently, as the case might be. So if they use their denomination to, to actually talk to their people to come out peacefully, carry their placards, I think it will go a long way in making sure that people mischiefs will not come into the protest to hijack the protest and stuff like that, and also to provide for this their denomination, that is the people, their congregation especially. What are your thoughts?
I think that when religious denominations come together and for the good cause, because the people within their church, they're also Nigerians, do you understand?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, the economy is going to affect every one of us. So it's very important that religious societies that agree with the cause of coming out to protest peacefully, this is the time for you to come out and join us. Okay,
so we are calling all the church leaders, please do advise your congregation of the nationwide looming protest that is coming up between the 1st and the 20 on the 10th of January, for you to follow, to advise your congregation about this and let them know that this is going to be a peaceful protest for the good of everybody. And of course, for your congregation too, because when they do get the Nigerian we are talking about back and everything is working as usual, it will be for the benefit of your congregation, and of course the church will also benefit from this, because tithes will be coming as often as usual and all that. Thank you very much for being with us today. And until tomorrow, we're sorry we could not proceed much more with all the people on Zoom. We apologize on that. Just having some technical glitches, not the one of INECO. We know they experience that kind of one at all. So until tomorrow, when we come back to bring you much more on the issues, the basbos on this minimum and the starvation wage that is going everywhere, breaking everywhere. Until that tomorrow, bye for now.